So this first video is we're going to show you how you start off every day in the lab. Make sure you are washing your hands, putting some gloves on, and cleaning your work desk to make sure there's no contamination.
The very first thing you should do when you get to a lab is to wash your hands so that all of your outside bacteria stays outside. Remember to use soap. Next, put on a pair of gloves that can be found in the corner of the room. Sometimes this will be the most difficult task you endure during the lab period.
The reason why you need to wash your hands and wear gloves in the lab is because your hands are seething masses of bacteria. As demonstrated by this visual, there are hundreds upon thousands of bacteria in your hands.
Then, acquire a bottle of Cytocon, which is a disinfectant, and use it to disinfect the bench by squeezing the bottle and applying the liquid all across the bench. You want to make sure that you will have enough that you will coat the entire bench. To cover the entire bench, you will need to grab a paper towel. Gently spread the liquid across the entire bench. You do not want to dry the bench off with the paper towel, because the bench will need to be wet for the Cytocon to effectively kill off any unwanted bacteria. Allow the bench to air dry for about 5 minutes, and then acquire a tub of 70% isopropyl alcohol swabs. Take a swab or two, and then wipe down your bench top. Much like with the Cytocon, you will want your bench to be thoroughly wet for it to effectively kill off bacteria.
The next thing you need to do to prepare in the lab is to grab a Bunsen burner and light it. To light it, you just use any lighter that we have in the room. Now you need to turn on the gas. All the gas nozzles are facing the same way, so that's what you need to remember when you shut them off. Turn it on just a little bit, so just a little bit of gas is popping out, not too much. If you need to bend down and check see if you can hear gas, that is totally fine. Once you get enough gas, you just light it up. And then you can turn the gas a little bit higher to get some more gas coming through and making the flame bigger. The blue flame means it's hotter. When you see an orange flame, it means it's a little bit cooler. Underneath there is a nozzle on most of them. Some of them only have one. On the bottom, that emits the gas. So you can either add more gas or take away some gas. When you do that, that will make the flame bigger or smaller. As you can see, the flame is getting bigger as he's turning the nozzle one way. And it gets smaller when he turns it the other. Now, when you move the barrel back and forth, that lets air in. One way lets more air in, and the more air you see, the bluer the flame is. The less air you see, the more orange the flame is.
The reason why we use Bunsen burners for our aseptic technique is that they protect whatever you're working with on your countertop from any paratrooper bacteria that might fall from the air onto your samples. As you can see, your Bunsen burner or your anti-paratrooper bacteria device will protect anything on your benchtop from any possible bacterial contamination.